So as I mentioned yesterday, I'm currently in the throes of unpacking all the stuff I brought from my old place to this place, and I'm realizing that perhaps I should have got rid of almost 50% of it. It's amazing the amount of rubbish one picks up over the course of 10 or 11 years. But certain things I will not be getting rid of course, are books, and I'm in the process of unpacking them. And I came across a few, and I thought, these are great books, and I haven't talked about them on BookTube in any detail, or I may have mentioned them in passing. And I thought, well, why not make the unpacking process as slow as possible by pausing every now and then to make a video about a book and tell you about it and recommend it to you. Or maybe in some cases one that's so bad that I'll tell you to avoid it, but I don't tend to have too many of those. So it's kind of like a return of the off the shelf, which I and certainly others have done, where we talk about books that we just pull down from our shelf. In this instance, I'm putting them on my shelf from a box to the shelf. So I thought, well, yeah, I'm going to share that with you, and you're going to enjoy it. Hello everybody, welcome to and welcome back to my channel, Book Time with Elvis, with me, Mark, and I'm in another position today. You can see there when I move, it looks like I'm some kind of divine being or whatever, right? Well, you're not too far from the truth, of course. But I'm in a different position today, and I thought, the light here is not too bad, but I realized if I keep moving, it will keep trying to focus. So hopefully, I'll get there eventually and find the optimal position for making these videos. At least today I'm on the computer rather than the telephone. So after 2 minutes of ramble, you're probably wondering, what on earth is the book Mark's going to talk about today? Well, it's a history book. Yes, I know most of you have probably turned off. Don't. Oh, oops, my phone is making noises, so I should be probably advised to put it on silent. I'm not used to it because, obviously I've been expecting tradesmen in and out, electricians, carpenters, all sorts. So I have it on. I always used to have it on silent, and now I'm used to keeping it on or off silent. Gosh, I can't speak, and I'm easily distracted. But hey, we're getting to it. Almost 3 minutes in now, I'm going to tell you what the book is, and it's a book by a wonderful historian. And writer, which is a chap called Peter Moore. And you may have read another book of his, and if you haven't, you really should, called Endeavour, where he follows the life of the Endeavour ship. For those who are unfamiliar with it, it is, of course, Captain James Cook's famous ship that he used to go on many exotic voyages, and of course, definitely a ship of great importance. But the book itself is really entertaining, very interesting premise that it follows the ship basically from small acorn, to tree, to becoming a ship, and then what happens to it after Cook's adventures and things like that. It's a wonderful book, and this one is, I believe, his most recent one, unless he's written one in the last year that comes after this, and it's called Life, Liberty and the Pursuit of Happiness, Britain and the American Dream, 1740 to 1776. So everybody's familiar with that phrase, life, liberty and the pursuit of happiness. The pursuit of happiness, I believe, is something enshrined in the American, I don't know if it's enshrined in the Constitution or such. I suppose it is not. No, it's the Declaration of Independence, isn't it? I think, yeah. Which is, of course, a famous phrase from that. And what this book does is it works on different levels. It is looking at how, basically, it looks at the, if you like, the generation before the events that take place in 1776 and the Declaration of Independence itself, and, of course, the American rebellion against their rightful overlords, against the crown, and how that this most American of ideals actually owes quite a lot to the British thinkers that existed in that 25 years or so before the American Revolution kicked off. Now, before the Americans start saying, "Oh, the British are trying to muscle in on their famous ideal," that's not actually the case. The book, if you like, actually centers around Benjamin Franklin. I suppose he's the main focus of this book, and of course he's an American who spent time in Britain. But it also looks at a cast of people that were instrumental in also putting forward this notion of the pursuit of happiness and life and liberty, and their relationship with Benjamin Franklin. And they are extremely interesting people, like the wonderful Dr. Samuel Johnson. There's Thomas Paine, of course, as well as Catherine Macaulay, the famous early female historian. And I don't know, perhaps it's something that you might think doesn't sound that exciting or that interesting. I mean, I can understand maybe how people will think that, especially when it kind of maybe has a maybe academic-y title. Perhaps it might put some people off, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Happiness, Britain and the American Dream, 1740 to 1776. But it's not at all dull or dry or anything like that. It's fantastically written. Peter Moore really is a wonderful storyteller, and he really gets into the lives of the interesting cast of characters that he chooses to write about, and their relationship with both Benjamin Franklin and this most American of ideals. But I say they mostly happen to be British rather than American. And it's, I would say, extremely readable. It's quite unputdownable and very entertaining, intelligently told, but in no way condescending at all. I mean, the blurbs and stuff are on it, I think, are spot on. Another favourite historian of mine, William Dalrymple, says it's witty, intelligent, hugely entertaining. Says that of Peter Moore. Daisy Dunn says it's scintillating and that she loved it. And then there are others as well. So perhaps I should maybe just give you part of the inside flap here. In this sweeping work of narrative non-fiction, best-selling historian Peter Moore traces how Enlightenment ideas were exported from Britain and put into practice in America, where they became perhaps the most successful export of all time. The American Dream. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is the best-known phrase from the Declaration of Independence, one of the most important documents of the 18th century and the whole Enlightenment age. Written by Thomas Jefferson, the principal author of the text, it is frequently evoked today as a shorthand for that idea we call the American Dream, but this is a line with a surprising history. Rather than being uniquely American, the vision it encapsulates of a free and happy world owes a great deal to British thinkers too. Centered on the life of Benjamin Franklin, features figures like the cultural giant Samuel Johnson, the groundbreaking historian Catherine Macaulay, and firebrand politician and revolutionary activist Thomas Paine. This book looks at the generation that preceded the Declaration in 1776. It takes us back to a vital moment in the foundation of the West, a time full of intent, confidence, and ideas. It tells a whole new story about the birth of the United States of America and some of the key principles by which we live to this very day. So I think it's a very important book to read for anybody really in the especially the Anglo-Saxon world or the Anglophone world, and of course anybody else as well. It's well worth your time. I'm sure it will surprise you, and it would fit in, of course, with this third quarter of Historathon. We still have almost a month of that to go, so you can certainly squeeze this in, and I think you will not be disappointed. So, rather a long video just to talk about perhaps one book, but that is your lot for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. It's been a joy to see you again, and no doubt I shall see you soon. Do take care. Bye-bye.